So this whole thing about, oh, why are people criticizing Arsenal go machine for machine and open up against PSG and be gung ho? Nobody's saying that. That would be silly. That would be stupid. How about trust the defense? Arsenal have a great defensive structure and these great individual defenders. Trust them a little bit. Again, there was no counter attack whatsoever. It looked like Arsenal were just trying to survive. Word to surfer, it looked like Arsenal were playing for a point in the Champions League final. It was crazy. I couldn't believe it. And the thing is, we've seen defensive teams before. We've seen great defensive teams. But guess what they had? Something going the other way. Arsenal offered nothing. So all the criticism and all the critique is fair, in my opinion, because guess what?
I think the critique is only fair. The only reason you can say it's fair is because we lost the game. Fair enough. I hear that. But you can look in the past at other teams that have won 1-0 in the final of the Champions League who have done the exact same thing. Chelsea did it in 2021 against Man City. We put it on them way more before our goal, though. Hear what I'm saying about this, though. I'm not. You see, this is the thing about when someone brings up a scenario and you say, "But we did." You don't even know what I'm about to say about how Chelsea.
No, you can talk about parking the bus.
No, not parking. I haven't even said that. I said
go.
Chelsea did it in 2021, where it just took one goal to win the Champions League, and once they scored that goal, they maintained the game till the very end and figured out how to run the game out, which is the game plan that I think Mikel went with. Now, fair enough.
I still think we had a better game plan to progress.
But you have to agree again that at the time that you're talking about, you also had good players, like your players and City's players. The difference was not astronomical attack-wise. Attack-wise, PSG have some of the best attacking players in world football today.
Yes, they do.
As compared to Dembele and Gyökeres, Dembele is miles ahead of Gyökeres.
But the criticism is the game plan. It's just like, could have been a bit better with how to progress coming out of parking the bus, isn't it?
You're asking the team that doesn't have the best attack to still try to progress the ball against the team that if they hit you on transition or counter, they're going to tear you open.
No, because you got counter them, Dayo, is the point.
I know, but when we did, we counted them and Kai Havertz scored, right? 6 minutes. We counted them again. Hold on. We counted them again.
It wasn't a counter-attack. No, it wasn't a counter-attack.
It was a transitional play backwards. The ball.
It wasn't a counter-attack. The ball deflected off. There was a botch clearance that deflected off your side. That's not a counter-attack. No,
and I said, okay, I said transitional play back towards them. The ball deflected off Gyökeres, and we took the chance. Our forward line did what they needed to do. They moved the ball. They progressed quickly. They got in behind, and Kai Havertz scored. Yes or no? Whether it was a deflection,
that did happen. But the point I'm making is there was no attempt to score from.
No, the second time. Hold on,
there was no attempt. Even Chelsea against Chelsea. We've never seen that before. Even Chelsea against Manchester City. Chelsea attempted to get the ball forward.
Werner missed 3 clear-cut chances before Havertz.
I Havertz missed. Hold on, but it's like you've chosen to not even hear anything. The second ball that Kai Havertz missed. Hold on, the second shot that Kai Havertz missed, that Odegaard put on the plate, clear ball in front of the net. So we did.
The Marquinhos one.
Yeah, that was one more.
That was a good passage.
So that's my point, though. The game plan.
That's one. That's it. That's just
flawless. Let me finish. The game plan for Arsenal was against this team, you're going to have 2 or 3 chances in this game, and you have to be clinical with them and take them. You cannot create more than that against the PSG team because you will open up. Because you will have to open up, and if you open up, PSG.
That's a myth. No, you don't. No, you do
not. Flawless. Again, maybe my manager does not have enough in his brain like yours to decide what is enough for us to open up and get torn apart or not. So you know what? I blame Mikel Arteta for not having the mentality of fans who know better than the manager how enough they should open up. He knows his players. He knows why he doesn't want to open up against them.
We can be critical here, though. So that's being.
I know, which is what I'm saying, though. I'm saying
you've criticized. Wait, Dayo, you've criticized managers. You don't know more than. So then none of us can sit here and criticize. All these managers know more than us.
But that's not what I'm saying, Flawless. But that's not what I was saying. That's not what I was saying.
Guess what, Dayo? You lot lost. The game plan didn't work. So therefore, you're gonna get critiqued. It didn't work.
Good.
It was it was a foolish game plan. To try and defend for 120 minutes and not punch back against the best attacking team in Europe is an idiotic way to go about it, is the point.
With no Vara, with no Dembele, with no Vitinha, with no Marquinhos.
Because guess what? I think if Arsenal
with Monstera on the pitch, with Madrid on the pitch, with Timber,
I think you look at
the too. I mean, all of that makes no sense to me. You're talking about 2 managers. Hold on, listen. I agree with Flawless here. You're talking about 2 managers that had a game plan. One of them's game plan worked to a certain amount of time and it failed. The other manager stuck with his game plan, which is his team is attacking, and they got a goal, they got into penalties, and they won. But to then come and be telling me about Kvaratskhelia on the pitch, bullshit, because we also had players off the pitch. Is Madueke the person I'm supposed to be depending on? Or like, so I can give you that, but the managers, yes. And I agree with you on
no
that.
Vara, no Dembele, you didn't even lay a glove. This is the point I'm making. They had no Vitinha, no Marquinhos, you could have done more. We're making the same point.
Lewis, not lay a glove. They didn't even throw a punch.
There was no
attempt. It was straight survival. They did not attempt to counterattack.
What punch the PSG? What punch the PSG threw? Apart from the penalty that we
PSG throw them. No, here's the difference.
Apart from the penalty that we gave them. Hold on. I want you to answer the question. Hold on. Apart from the penalty that we gave them, and the fact that 2 players on my team did not even test their goalkeeper and they skied the ball out of pressure or whatever reason it is, or because they were too cocky, whatever it is, we can give it that. Yeah. What else did PSG do? That
no one's saying PSG did well.
PSG could have won.
You know what PSG did? Wait, Lewis, I got this since you want the answer to the question. You know what PSG did? They attempted to knock you out. You defended very well because your defense is on point. That's the whole point I'm making, Dayo. You did not attempt to knock them out. I made
at the beginning as well.
They attempted to knock you out. You caught
and
them
it was nullified by our defense.
And then tried to survive.
And it was nullified by the defense, though. That's what I'm.
No one's disputing that. Stop saying that. No one's disputing that.
Which is why
I'm agreeing with you, Dayo. Dayo, I am in full agreement with you. Your defense was excellent. You nullified PSG. I don't know why you continue to make this point because nobody's disputed that. I haven't disputed that. Your game plan in regards to defense was to a T. You haven't heard me criticize Arsenal for their defensive output. You were defensively very good. You nullified PSG. Please stop mentioning it because it's not relevant to anything I am saying. I am talking about going the other way. That's the point I'm making. You did not attempt to knock them out. PSG were throwing punches at you lot the entire match. Granted, they didn't knock you out. It took to the 12th round and a late stoppage where they got you out of here. That is the point I'm making. Your thing was survival. You had no intention of counterattacking. And I think if you do counterattack, you maybe could win. You have a better opportunity of winning the game. Again, you lost. That's the point. We've seen defensive teams before. Chelsea's and Inter Milan's and Porto's and AC Milan's. And the list goes on about the defensive teams that we've seen who are quality. But you know what they offer? Something going forward. They have counter-attacking. There's some intent. You had no intention to. It looked like defense versus attack. That's what it looked like. That's the point that I'm making. That's my critique of it.
Okay, so we didn't have enough. And I hear you on we didn't have enough going forward. We've known this all season. And I've addressed that. Hold on.
You're already missing my point. I didn't say you didn't have enough going forward.
No, I'm saying it. I didn't say you said that. I'm saying that. You're not listening to what I'm not saying you said that. I'm not saying flawless said we didn't have. I'm saying we've seen all season that Arsenal has had a problem going forward. We've seen it all season. At least attempt.
Have you scored 2 and 3 goals against teams in the league? We scored into the season.
Hold on. Let me answer the question. We've scored more 1-0 goal games this season, 13 of them than 2-3 goals. Yes, we scored more 1-0 games.
You scored 2 and 3 and 4 goals.
Yes, but that's not the norm. Those are the exceptions.
I'm not saying it's the norm. I'm saying the team is capable. That's the point I'm making.
Yes, those are the exceptions, and we scored them against teams.
But you didn't even put yourselves in the situation to attempt to do it. That's the point I'm making. I'm not talking about Arsenal's lack of quality. I'm talking about there was zero intention to score. That's the point. I've been watching football for a long time. I've seen a lot of the greats from the 90s, early 2000s and beyond defensive teams, some of the best individual defenders we've ever seen and defensive managers. I've never seen no attempt to score. That's the point I'm making. I couldn't believe what I was right. They just not even going to try, even though there is a lack of quality. That's the point I'm making. I'm not talking about the lack of quality. I'm talking about the lack of intent.
I haven't mentioned quality or anything. I understand what you're saying is we didn't show the intent, and I'm saying we haven't showed that type of intent all season. Majorly over the season, we played 60-something games. In about 49 games, we haven't shown that intent. That's the norm for Arsenal. You're talking about the exceptions where we scored a 3-1 or we scored a 4-1. So my point is when you're taking the exceptions that we did this season against teams like Bayern, who probably opened up, well, it's still the league phase. Even if we lose, we can still make it. If you're using that as the yardstick in the final, it's not going to work for Arsenal. I'm saying the game plan for Mikel Arteta, which was clear, was defend. We know we have waves that we can score from. We're not as good and as clinical as PSG. We're not going to cut through this PSG team and figure out a way to score. We get the lucky chance with the deflection, we take it. We get another chance, you should take it, and then defend with your own, because that's what we're good at. Off the ball, we're better. So why should I then change what I'm good at and make an attempt to do something I'm not good at against someone
It
who's
makes
good
sense when you're defending a lead, but not when you don't have
what
a
I'm
lead.
saying.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying to you. You're saying make an attempt.
No one's telling you to change.
Oh, no,
but I'm not telling you to change, because even in games you've been defensive in the league, you actually had some form of threat going forward. There was an attempt
and more possession.
There was something. This is why it's the lowest percentage you've ever had. They were in the Arteta 11 versus 11. There was no intent.
And I said again, you're not hearing what I'm saying. I'm saying I agree with you.
Disagree.
No, listen. I agree with you that we did not show any intent to go forward because that's not our strength. And I think Mikel Arteta made a mistake. I agree with that. But my point is, But my point is, you're saying they should still have gone. And I'm like, if I'm someone, right? For example, I teach my son certain moves in judo. There are things I know he's good at. There are things I know he's not good at right now. And I'm like, don't do that if you're fighting me, because you keep yourself open. So you learn how to do it. Don't go take the risk. You're better off losing by 3 points against me than me knocking you into the ground and you ending up in the.
But you have the options with the subs anyway. All I've heard is how good Gyökeres is and UCL Martinelli.
You can count that, man. I'm sorry, man. Arsenal can count. Arsenal are good enough to count. You're good enough.
They should have changed at 1-1.
You're good
even
enough.
Even you know the funny thing, I can tell you this. Even if we won this game 1-0, everybody would have sat there and said, "Oh, you guys stunk it out." So whatever it is, Arsenal.
If we won the UCL, I wouldn't even be in this country. What are we doing, bro?
Yeah, right.
What do you mean? At halftime, I was checking the weather and flights in Amsterdam. Let's not play games.
Don't do that.
No, flawless. I'm not. I hear your point. I'm not talking about you. Your point is you and I. Listen, Flores. You and I are on the same point. You say we should have gone for it, and I said we don't have the capacity to go for it. You say we have it, and I'm like, the norm for us. I've watched Arsenal and looked at the data this season, and I look at the data for my team. That's the one thing that I do. The amount of games that we have played where we have won 1-0 this season across all competitions is 13. Yes. The most we've ever done. Like literally this season, we've just been able to go back to the stinky days of Graham. It's like 1-0 to the Arsenal and just move on. We've not shown a lot going forward. I didn't expect that to change in the final. What I expected was what we played till the 70th minute. That penalty changed everything. That penalty changed everything for me. And fair enough, at that point, we should try to go forward, but we don't have what it takes against the PSG at the 80th minute to literally try and break open and then have them score 2 against you. Then the game is done in 90 minutes. So we decided to go for the 120 minutes.
Dude, took off Vara, took off Dembele, took off Vitinha, and they had UCL Martinelli.
We took off players too. Dude, look at people taking penalties for us.
Yeah, you had Eze come on.
We didn't have any of our best penalty players. Hold on, we didn't have any of our best penalty players on the pitch by the time we got to penalties. What are you talking about?
So,
we didn't take anybody out.
Neither did they, though. To be honest,
talking about the pens.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's fair to say both teams took out players, but now you're calling Madrid and Martinelli, like Martinelli that you shot on all season, Martinelli that you guys
that you guys have told me is UCL Martinelli.
Now you've insulted
Martinelli off the bench. I've heard that all season.
Yeah, off the bench, and he couldn't do it.
Right, so he came off the bench in a UCL game, and you had Gyökeres, and you had Eze.
Barcola came off the bench, had 2 clear chances, ran in behind Saliba twice. 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper.
PSG weren't good. We've said that. They're not
that's
good.
my point. So let's talk the football. But you keep talking about who they took out as if we didn't sub players, as though
because I'm saying you had the players on the pitch that you could have still had a game plan to attack them.
Anyway, the game plan was.
I'm just saying, like.
Anyway,
that's it. That's all I'm saying.
The game plan was never to attack them in the first place.
That's it, Dayo. The whole fight. Arsenal are better than that. That's what that was. They even throw nothing. Even if you don't have knockout power, you can catch them with something. Like I said, Arsenal
are better than that. I agree with you if you look at it on paper. But again, I think
the moment was too big for them.
Hold on, like I said, this is my manager's first Champions League final. And again, I'm upset and disappointed that I lost. But I wasn't expecting we're gonna go there and just do. I expected this stinky 1-0 win. That's what I wanted. That's what I was looking for, because
that's not what you wanted. It's what you would have accepted.
It's what I wanted for us.
You don't want that. No. You don't want a stinky. Who wants a stinky win?
Let me speak for myself.
Hey,
You can't tell me what I want. You can't tell me what I want. Are you going to tell me what I want?
No, hold on.
Really?
After Vader, let's listen to Jay's opinion because he's been quiet.
Vader, this is what I
Oh
mean.
shit, yo, big up, Jay, man. I thought you.
Yo, large up, Jay. No. I'm not gonna let you lie to the chat, Dayo. You're not gonna lie to the chat.
You know,
nobody.
You're not going to speak for me.
I will speak
I
for
will
you.
not
I
let
will
you
speak
speak
for
for
you.
me.
As a UCL winner and the panel here, European winners as well. I'll tell you. We'll accept a stinky win. We'll accept it, but we don't want it. That's what I want to clarify. Dayo, there's no way you don't want that. You want glory. You want beautifulness. You want something that will be remembered.
Victor, you have your opinion. I have mine. I wanted this. Let me tell you why I wanted a stinky.
Yeah, let me hear that you wanted something stinky.
You wanted a fight, didn't you?
Let me tell you why I wanted. I wanted a stinky 1-0 win just to
fight.
shut up.
It's so obvious.
Listen, just to shut up this whole narrative of you've not won it.
Yeah. So that's not. You don't really want it. It's
let me
because of
finish.
rivals. It's like your parade. You're dealing with rivals. You don't care. It's
like when Dayo says, "I want to beat Man City 1-0 with a set piece." We know why.
Vader, please stop. Let me finish why I know why I want what I want. You can't tell me that no, you don't want it. And tell me what I should want.
We know that.
I know you want goals. You want it to be graceful. You want to beat people 3-0. Fair enough. That's on you. I wanted a stinky game. I wanted to get over the line. I wanted the players to realize, hey, we can get over the line. I wanted to be able to tell rival fans we finally did it. And that was it for me. Then next season, I will now expect you, because you've done it before, to be able to go in there and play easier with a clear mind. It's harder to do it when you've never done it before. So just get over the bloody line, however you get over it. So to sit there and tell me that I don't want it and tell me how I should want my team to win is nonsense.
Your first time shouldn't be paid for. It should be with someone you love, someone you've grown feelings for. I'm telling you, you don't want it stinky.
It depends on the level of what it is. I'm not gonna lie
Stop it, Flawless. We have a responsibility to the youth out there. No, we have a responsibility to the youth out there.
If she's some elite stuff.
Stop it.
Run it. You know what I'm saying? They're about in Canada soon. Run me some elite stuff, man.
Some people's first time was a bad experience as a 10-year-old. So what are we saying here? Anything can happen. I just give me a stinky 1-0 win and get me out of there.
Fuck it, hell.
Yeah, hell yeah.
It's dark, yo.
It's dark, but it's the truth.
This guy wants